All right, guys, I just wanted to go over some asset allocation and kind of where my strategy's evolved as I've kind of gotten into crypto and evolved with it. And just from what I've seen in my own screw up, so what this kind of graphic shows is you're kind of working your way out as you're getting comfortable with this spectacularly profitable industry, but it can get complicated, it can get overwhelming. So as you're starting out, you want to pace yourself, you want to work from the high value, low risk into the more complicated but higher yield coins and strategies. So just want to talk about a good strategy that I kind of wish I would have started with, but I evolved to over time, and kind of talk about, give you a bird's eye view of this strategy here as I'm building this out. So let's talk about the core here, the hold on for dear life part. So this should be the core, I would say. That's the easiest place to start out with. And you know, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever's on Coinbase is fairly safe to hold. I mean, there are some questions about Bitcoin Cash and Ripple. You can use them as hedges on your portfolio and never make them core positions. But you know, they can be performing when the rest of the market is kind of tanking, and vice versa. So a lot of the mistakes I see is people starting out trying to day trade, like thinking they have to trade between different coins. That's usually emotional, so they hear about a coin, they get excited about it, they get impatient with looking at the steady growth of their core coins or whatever they're doing at the moment, and you want to move into more speculative assets immediately. Or, and a lot of times you find yourself chasing pumps. So when people start talking about stuff, it's usually midway through a market cycle. And at that point, once you hear people talking about it, there's tons of buzz about it, a lot of times you'll find that it'll take a big dip, and you'll end up kind of losing money in the short term. And that's the emotional trading mistake. I mean, people, when you start out, you kind of have to be humble about things. You have to be patient about things. And that's one of the most important skills that helps you build out things steadily and simply. So, think about the core coins. A ton of people are going to be entering, and so these coins are going to be growing. And Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they should be growing out really well. So again, have that as a core position. I would say anywhere from 30 to 60% be in those main core coins, and diversify from there. So beyond that, we have the silver hedge. So again, as excited as I am about crypto, anything could happen in the market. I mean, there's you don't want to be completely all feet within everything within your market. I don't like the stock market. It's massively overvalued by any measure. It's a very risky, kind of frothy environment from what I'm seeing. And so I don't like to hedge in the stock market. I do a 10% silver hedge is my principle. Now you can decide how you want to do that, if you want to do precious metals and what your hedge is there. But I like to hedge in non-dollar correlated assets. Silver is one of the most undervalued historically things on the market, even though crypto has a limited supply and is growing amazingly fast. It doesn't have a long track record, but silver does. So even though I don't see silver as a monetary asset, it has a huge industrial value. So you may want to look at that as a hedge against even crypto itself. So you want to be balanced in that approach. As bullish as I am, as excited as I am about crypto and how I see it as the future, I'm going to be winning no matter how this thing plays out. Silver is a monetary metal. It has 5,000 years of history. It has tons of industrial purposes, from solar panels to circuits. It's the most reflective and conductive metal on Earth, and it's going to be essential. And they spend a lot of money trying to keep that cost down. So the basic principle of investing is buy what's unloved. Silver is unloved at the moment, but in the scope of history, when you take a step back, it is massively undervalued. Normally about 15 to 1 or even 5 to 1 or 10 to 1 historically compared to gold. And gold being at $1,100, 10 to 1 is $100 silver. Cliff High, who's been extremely correct about many things in crypto specifically, but puts silver about $600 in 2020. So exciting upside for silver. So I do 10%. My portfolio has grown a lot though, and you may not want to start out that way. You may want to do 1% 1 month. You want to do 2% in 2 months, 3%. If there's a big run up, you may want to put a larger investment in while prices are high. So you want to sell into greed, sell in the green when you do your hedging, your portfolio hedging. Another kind of strategy is to go 1 ounce of silver for every $1,000 of profit that you have. That's a little bit better way to start out, which means you allow your cash to compound. And 1 ounce is $16 basically. So you're doing a tiny percentage of each $1,000, but that could easily, within 3 years, that could easily grow to actually $1,000 in and of itself. So you double your portfolio at that point, and it's a hedge against all crypto. It can't be wiped out by some internet kill switch or whatever you want to think about it. So great asset, great portfolio insurance, not designed to grow anything. Okay, so let's go out to the grow portion. The grow portion is more speculative. I just brought up, these are just examples. There's a lot of speculative coins that are smaller cost. So EOS is $10, OMG is $15 compared to the hundreds of dollars in the other kind of hold portion. But you can find all kinds of examples. If you look at the perfect portfolio post on the group, you'll be able to see what those other grow coins would be. So these are kind of what we call it mid cap, but you want to build out some of that portfolio and have it to be a more high growth. So I'm super confident in OMG and EOS. There's plenty of other ones like QDUM, for example, Veritasium. Again, you're not going to see the super steady growth that you see in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, but when they pop, they're going to pop massively. So hundreds of percentage. I would see a lot of these cases as news comes out, etc. So let's go to the third ring of this strategy. And you can put this however you want. If you come from a more trade mindset, you might, if you've traded in the stock market, you may want to go to what's called swing trading. So you look for coins and see what they're at as far as valuation. And so this is transitioning from a value investor, which is just finding good, valuable products and putting money into them, and then moving into a more actively managed portfolio where you're buying on the lows, you're selling on some of the highs. Some good resources for that on YouTube. I like BK Crypto Trader. He's made some good calls, has good chart analysis. You can look up chart analysis. You can Cryptos Class is another one I've had a lot of success with. So cryptosclass.com. Some of those trade calls you're going to be finding on the JSNIP4 channel on YouTube. And so yeah, if you come from that trader mindset or are willing to, dedicated to understanding charts, understanding volume, understanding candles, those kind of things, that's when, you can put part of your portfolio into actively traded. So 10% maybe, or a certain dollar amount. I would never go all in on a trade because, again, I don't want to. I want to be balanced in my approach. Okay, so beyond that, if you don't have stock market investment experience, you may want to go and consider bot trading. So if you want, this is the more passive side as far as the group and the bot side, right? So the bots are things that trade automatically for you. Again, and you have to watch out for the scams. As soon as you get to that outer rim, it's scam city. But you're going to find there are good services out there. And just from my research, I'm going to kind of try to steer you towards those. So bot trading like Trader Daddy, That's a solid one. Just do your diligence on any kind of bots you're using. And it's a little bit more technical, but you can smooth out a lot of market volatility by getting a bot to put in like 400 trades a day. So it's something to think about as far as going that route. Once you have a more solid position in your core coins, and then you have some dollar amount that you want to try to diversify. So into the group level. So this is about hiring traders to trade for you or allocate for you. Again, in the more passive category. And so it's a good way to hedge your own kind of mistakes as far as the trade goes. Good way to manage things passively without having to think about the value of coins, etc. So your energy is invested in mostly investing or in researching who's doing the trading, what their record is, etc. So again, tons of different garbage out there as far as trading in the crypto market. So group trading, bot trading. The garbage is BitConnect, for example. That's the most famous one. Basically, it's a Ponzi scheme when you look deep into it. But as far as group trading, again, there are scams out there. Economy is a public company with known people behind them, and they have a decent track record as far as their portfolio. Now you have to kind of weigh, once you get into economy, you have different groups or funds you can put money into and decide what you want to do. The new ones on the scene are Genesis.Vision and Co-Vesting. These aren't fully formed projects yet, but they have good credibility behind them, so it's something to consider. Do your diligence. Mining is the more complicated side. If you find yourself to be more technical, you can look into mining. Again, there's garbage out there. There's questionable returns in Genesis mining, for example. That's the more common one. There's tons of scam mining clouds. I don't think Genesis is a scam necessarily or hash filler. I just don't think the return is amazing. You can look into getting your own rig like Zcash mining or Litecoin mining, and that can get some decent returns. Mining isn't about massive monetary returns necessarily. You are getting the upside of consistency, so you can get a steady stream of income if that's the goal. And all that kind of third level stuff, you can get pretty consistent income. It's just a good way to diversify, yeah, so that is the kind of breakdown. I appreciate it, and give me any feedback that you have. Obviously, I couldn't cover every coin in this portfolio. If you're looking for specific within the grow or hold coin area, just check out the post on the perfect portfolio. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.